Alright, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and do one more video for you here, too. This is going to be one of the most important parts for what I've been doing in some of my other videos, which involve walking and the jumping, knuckle push-ups and all the things like that. Now, this is a stupid, boring exercise for some of you guys. It's like not even always worth doing a talk video on, but it's one of the most important parts. That's how I did a video already that I'm just about to post, that you can just go like this, jump. And one of the exercises to make you able to do that, not just being able to do the push-ups like in one of my other videos, it's this, simply this right here. And it's not just important for the jumping, but it's also important for the walking back and forth. But anyway, what basically you do is this, like a half push-up, and do it real fast, like that. It don't even have to be a half push-up. Do a session of nothing but this right here. And then if you can already do some walking like I do, or like I do in some of my videos, some music, do a few of these walks. But what this is doing is going to enable pulse strength, because then, like when you do a lot of this, just do a whole bunch of it. This looks boring, but it's a very big part. You know why? Because then it enables you, then when you're practicing the other things I showed you in this last video that I just did, going down like this, stretching your arms, like practically kissing the ground. Doing this is also going to enable you to do this and this. Just be able to, like while you're doing this, go ahead and do some of this, and then some of this. And stretch that out. You can do that with your legs together or totally apart. We're doing during one of your stretching routines. But one thing I never showed you one thing I never showed you in any of the videos, that one of the prerequisite exercises is doing a lot of this. And then when you keep doing it for like a real long time, you're actually going to feel that. Do it in a separate session, separate from your actual push-ups. And try your planks. Try doing things like what I was showing you. Some people call it tiger push-ups, but the yoga people, I watch a lot of the yoga chicks, and then a few of the dudes, they'll call it a downward dog, but there's different versions of it. And you go, the thing they also call the dive bomber push-up. One of my favorites, what I'm advocating in my videos, borrowed from the Persian push-ups. And if I'm going to do another talk on this, but it's some of my videos with the club bell techniques. I was using the Danzig poetic, that's not a song, it's a poetic thing called Sadistical, and I used it. But that is borrowed from some of the Persian push-ups. But I do the club bell like what they do with the Indian club. But they have a thing called the press-up bar. But what I'm doing is using the club bell as my press-up bar, all the same thing. They also use wooden shields they do things with. But I'm incorporating some of their push-ups, and some of them they do with their legs spread apart and do the push-up. And you can do a tricep push-up like that the same way, but then they have a push-up that's similar to what we call the dive bomber push-up. But they do these push-ups on a press-up board. You'd have to look up the Zirconia, and I had samples in my video collection. and stuff that I'm doing, it's because of that. And I wanted, there's so much in all this, really. I hate to make it into rocket science, but a lot of stretching is part of it. I mean, I would encourage doing push-ups like however far you can stretch. Like, it took me a while to be able to get where I am now, to be able to stretch like this. But you do tricep push-ups like this, or just do this, or this, but in a separate video, you know, I'm going to do a separate video on type stretching, and some of this is actually in, I'm going to tell you real quick anyway, but I'll do a separate talk video on it, and you'd have to you'd have to refer to my videos that I had titled Danzig, the Mystical, because I was using that poetic track from a Danzig album from my Clubhouse/yoga videos. But the reason why I'm doing some of that is because of these push-ups I'm showing you, and the stretches, which I'm going to do a quick talk video. I'm going to go ahead and tell you now that there's a reason why I do push-ups that way, and be able to do stretches like this. What you're seeing now, I try to encourage a lot of this, and it leads to this, and to this, and not only that, the reason why I'm rocking my feet back and forth here too is to be able to do this, and then be able to automatically get up and stand up like a horse stance, like the karate people teach you to do. But I'm kind of a rebel. I do my own version of it. But my stuff is incorporated into, borrowed from Zircon, from anything that they teach you doing gymnastics and martial arts exercises, which are very similar to each other because you have to stretch. I mean, I in my collections, in my YouTube, some of my collections of videos I snagged, there's a reason for that, because there's stuff I'm studying and borrowing from, and I want to extremize them, basically. So I'm trying to put it all together so that you can, all your stretching, all your push-ups and all that thing, and the different things that the yoga people are doing. I mean, that you can just, whether down in the push-up position or on your fists, or even like this, be able to get up and stand just like that quick. And with eventual practice, I mean, you even do this, but stretching is a big part of it too. I mean, this is a little extra information. I was going to do a separate talk on it. But if I try to do a talk on every single thing I do, I mean, it's going to be a long-ass video. But if any of you guys that have already been following me, a few ever since that I even started my YouTube account, you get an idea where it's all coming from. But it says I want to eventually get a nice camera, get a cameraman, do a DVD, and get together with some people and try to organize where somebody would want to read this in a book in steps and do it in a DVD. But what stops me from doing that is all this stuff I'm showing you. I'm just doing anything I feel like, but I'm trying to establish which should be done first for people that are just starting, like the Pre-Requisite, so they don't hurt themselves. But other than that, it doesn't matter. When you wake up in the morning, you can do whatever you want first as far as the stretching. But as far as standing on your fist and walking on your fist, you're going to need the prerequisites for that to develop the strength. Well, in some cases, some stretching, if you're too greedy, and one day you can overdo it and rip something, I imagine you could. Some of that stuff you might want to check other YouTubers that are experts in the stretching. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, what I'm doing is pretty damn good, considering that I don't do any kind of yoga or stretching professionally. I mean, and I can't do anything like a bow and an arrow, or like karate people be able to kick right over my head and hold my foot there like some of the people do. But that doesn't matter as long as you're better than the way you was, and if you could stretch somewhat, it'll keep you from. It has a lot of benefits and all that stuff. Prevent injuries and make you able to physically do a lot of other stuff better without getting tired or getting injured. I mean, there's all kind of benefits like it. But anyway, I'm going to stop my yammering here. Stop my jibber jabber here and just post this video as is. But yeah, I'm going to try to do a separate video on the stretching part and a lot of other things. But one of the videos that I hate to do too much yammering off the subject, but I've been meaning to get around to doing these extra videos because I mean, you can do all the stuff that I do, like the knuckle push-ups and stuff, like to music all day long, make shitloads of them. But some of you guys don't really know how I'm pulling it off and what particular fitness threshold you have to get yourself in before you can do it. Then, you know, what's the use? You know what I mean? If any of you guys try it, I mean, I should. And maybe if these talk videos suck, then fine, you know, I can just listen to them later and do new ones afterwards. You know, you only get better at it if you keep doing it. So, alright, there you have it. I'm just going to end this video here and then post it along with my other ones, and see you next time.